Hey Optimal Nation, in this video you're going to be learning how to stop eating junk food from a psychological point of view and simple tips and tricks that you can start doing right now. Hey everybody, it's me Amir. So in this episode of Just Ask Amir, I got a question from one of the Optimal Tribes member, and her question was it's a pretty serious question, right? Because I've had this question many times approached towards me, and myself, I kind of dealt with the same problem. Is I understand that, eating processed grains, eating commercial dairy, and eating junk food is bad. But I still eat it. Like, how can I stop doing this, right? So it's one thing to know the information. It's a second thing to actually apply this information. So right now you're gonna be learning simple tips that you can introduce into your life right now to better your psychology and stop eating this junk food around us. So tip number one, I absolutely love this tip, is out of sight, out of mind. Meaning, if you have it in your household, your willpower is weak. Don't have it in front of you, right? So we have something called like mirror neurons, that it's kind of like a monkey see, monkey do. So if you have other members of your family eating these foods, it's almost impossible to resist. So if you're a husband, if you're a wife, if you have partners, it has to be a group thing. It has to be a family unit, meaning one person can't do this alone. It must be as a group. So if this person, wants to stop eating processed foods such as, grains, commercial dairy, and junk food, the whole family has to adopt that. So when they're going shopping, you don't buy it. Because that's the problem when it happens. When you're in your house and you get these cravings for it, and like if it's like in front of you, you're like, oh my God, it's almost nearly impossible to resist. So out of sight, out of mind is a huge tip. So when you're grocery shopping, don't purchase these foods. Tip number two, it's a very important tip, right? I think this is one of the most, don't mind the stove, it's the most important tip possible. When you wake up, start your day with a high-fat, high-protein meal. This way, your body's gonna stabilize your blood sugar levels. It's actually gonna increase your energy levels and actually give you better neurotransmitter conductivity in your brain, which is good, right? So a lot of times when you have this craving, it's almost like you're craving for sugar. And a lot of times that's correlated to blood sugar dysregulation and cortisol dysregulation. So starting your day with a high protein, high fat meal is fantastic. And I'll give you guys some examples out there for a high protein, high fat meal. I like to have 2-3 eggs in the morning. You can have it raw. You can have it slightly cooked. I have it with any vegetables on the side, and there you go. Like, don't think of breakfast as breakfast, right? Breakfast is any meal you put together. The other day I had 2-3 cups of bone broth, and I had some fish, some slow cooked fish on the pan with some coconut oil, and a whole squash, a big squash, and absolutely that filled me up till like 3 p.m. So I ate that around like 5:45, 6 a.m. and I was completely full till 3 p.m. I was training that time, I was studying that time, I was working with like 100 clients in that time. So that's a huge tip. You gotta start your day with a high protein, high fat meal. And finally, my third tip when it comes to psychologically avoiding these foods, and it's something not too many people talk about. Yeah, diet is one thing. Yeah, out of sight, out of mind is another thing. But another great thing, actually I have it over here, one second. Another great thing is journaling, right? So getting your thoughts down on a piece of paper and making affirmations and reprogramming the neurology of your mind is absolutely important when it comes to actually embedding yourself and optimizing your health, right? So what I use is something called the 5-minute journal. It's one of my favorite pieces of technology. So basically what it is when I wake up in the morning, I make affirmations to myself. I'll wake up and be like, okay, it's quite simple over here. What are you grateful for? So say 3 things that you're grateful for, 3 things that you want to achieve today, and 3 daily affirmations, right? So in this affirmation part, you make it right away in the morning. I will not eat any processed foods. And you rewrite it. And this act of taking that information from your mind to paper is so profound and beneficial for you. It really reprograms the way you think, and you'll be really shocked and surprised how fast this is beneficial for you. I'll be actually leaving a link for that in below from the video. So those are my 3 simple, I mean absolutely simple tips that you can do to psychologically avoid eating processed foods. Okay guys, if you really enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Please subscribe by clicking the button below, leave some comments, and I have an amazing gift for you guys today. If you click this book right here, I'm offering a completely free optimal health book with my top 3 optimal tips that everybody should be doing today in order to optimize their life. All you gotta do is click the link right there. I wish you guys an amazing day, and stay tuned for tomorrow's Just Ask Amir episode where we're gonna be talking about some real deep stuff. Have an amazing day.